I just had to let you know you're. Pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the pose with the fans. Pose with the fans. Pose with the fans. Pose with the pose with the pose with the fans.
Agency is a legal relationship where one person authorizes another person to act on his behalf. In agency law, there are usually three parties: the principal, the person who gives authority, the agent, the person who acts for the principal, and the third party, the outsider who deals with the agent. What duties does the principal owe to the agent?
Hey, Oosh! Why do you bump to me? Watch where you going, You're the one to watch, not me. Hey, you wanna fight, You wanna fight, You touch me, you know where I am. You touch me, you know where I am. Hi, my name is Faris, and I am the agent. I have done everything for my principal, but my principal?
What exactly are my duties again?
Atur aku usaha, aku kerja lagi. Aku Azlan the prototype, cold call laju, Salista hype.
Customer. Hi, hello. Okay, my name is Faris and I am an agent.
Faris. Wait, Faris from Taman Melawati?
Yes, Faris from Taman Melawati. Yes. So, sir, I want to ask you a question. Do you plan to buy a car from the time being?
Faris, if I'm being honest, I actually don't have any intention of buying one since, what's the point of having a car if you're going to drive it alone, right?
So you don't want to buy a car because you don't have a partner?
Oh, yeah, that one.
How about I give you a car and I give you a partner?
Wait, is that even possible?
Yes, it's possible, but please don't tell my boss about it. Please don't tell the principal about it.
Oh, I see. Alright. Okay, I follow what you want as long as you give me the buttons, alright?
Oh yes.
You
You
help me with that one?
yes. Okay. So I will tell my boss and I will call you later. The car and a partner.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you for now. I will call you later.
Alright, just send me the details. Alright, thank you guys.
Okay, bye bye.
Yeah, come in.
Hello, boss. So I got my customer. So I want to ask for my commission.
Well, we have a contract, so I must pay. Wait.
You don't have any money?
Well, I mean, it's the middle of the month.
How you gonna pay me?
Alright, chill. But I got an email that it is saying that you offered our client a partner. That is beyond the authority that I gave you. Well, it is what it is. No payment for this client. I'm sorry.
How do
Get
you
out
know
of
that? Aduh.
Today, I will explain the duty of the principal to pay the commissions or remuneration to the agent under Section 173 of the Contract Act 1950. Under the law of agency, when a principal appoints an agent to carry out work on his behalf, the principal has a duty to pay the agent his commission or remuneration as agreed in a contract between them. In simple words, if the agent has successfully completed the work that he was appointed to do, the principal must pay him according to the agreement. This duty is important because the agent is performing work for the benefit of the principal. For example, If the agent is appointed to sell goods, find customers, or completed a business transaction, the agent is entitled to be paid once the work is successfully done. To understand this better, let us look at an illustration.
Lower the selling price and this is yours.
But instead of acting honestly, she lowered the selling price.
You breach your duty as an agent.
Siti is employed by Bright Motors Sidang Berhad to sell used cars. Under the agreement, she is entitled to receive 5% commission for every successful sale. Siti manages to sell a car to a customer, so normally she should receive her commission. However, Siti secretly accepts a personal payment from the buyer in exchange for lowering the selling price of the car. This is misconduct because Siti is no longer acting honestly for the benefit of her principal. Instead, she is secretly benefiting herself and acting against the interests of Bright Motors Sidang Berhad. Therefore, under Section 173, Siti loses her right to remuneration. Even though she successfully sold the car, the law does not allow an agent to claim commission when the agent acted dishonestly or breached his duty towards the principal. Now, applying this principle to our scene, Azlan is appointed as an agent by the principal to sell Proton cars. His duty is to approach customer, promote the car, and complete the sale on behalf of the principal. In the scene, Azlan approaches a customer who is unsure about buying the car. The customer says that he does not only want a car, but also want a partner. Azlan then uses his sales skills to persuade the customer. He convinces the customer that buying the car may increase his confidence and improve his image. After being persuaded, the customer finally agrees to buy the car. After completing the sale, Azlan approaches the principal and says that his commission is due. At this point, Azlan has completed the work and that he was appointed to do. Therefore, under the general rule, the principal must pay Azlan his commission as agreed in the contract. However, the issues arises when the principal questions Azlan conducts during the sale. The principal may argue that Azlan was only instructed to sell the car, not to give the customer the impression that buying the car will help him get a partner. If Azlan's statement was merely ordinary sales persuasion, then he should still be entitled to his commission because he successfully completed the sale. But if his statement was misleading, dishonest, or outside the authority given by the principal, then it may amount to misconduct in the business of agency. In that situation, under Section 173, Azlan may lose his right to full remuneration. This shows that the law does not only look at whether the agent completed the sale, the law also looks at whether the agent acted properly while completing the sale. Thus, in conclusion, the principal has a duty to pay commission or remuneration to the agent once the agent successfully completes the work, as agreed in the contract. However, if the agent is guilty of misconduct in the business of agency, he may lose his right to be paid under Section 173. Therefore, Azlan is entitled to his commission if he acted honestly and only used normal sales persuasion. But if his conduct is considered misleading or improper, the principal may reduce or refuse his commission as according to the case of Azlan. Therefore, he is not entitled to get his commission. However, Section 173 also provides an exception. The agent may lose his right to remuneration if he is guilty of misconduct in the business of agency. This means that even if the agent completed the work, he may not be entitled to commission if he acted dishonestly, improperly, or against the interests of the principal.
Alright, so Timmy, here are the list that you are needing to buy. So make sure you get some durians for meeting tonight. You must, it is must get a durian.
Okay, sir.
Alright, and then we need a tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate.
Alright.
Yeah. Alright. So these are the list. Make sure you get all of it. Now for the payment, well, for the payment, what is your money first? I get back. I have money. Yes.
Hello?
Saving some money, boy.
Seriously. Tiger, durian. I don't have money.
Salam. What makes you come here, Bibi?
Actually, my principal asked me to buy durian and tiger. Here. Do you have one?
Yes, I do. How many that you want?
Actually, my principal asked me for 5 tiger and 20 durian.
Oh my god, that's so a lot.
However, he don't give him any money. Look this.
You don't
Just
have any money.
zero.
But you still need to pay me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I will ask my team to send the tiger and the durian at your office. Okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Boss, I will give more tiger and durian. I pay 1.5 million ringgit. May I get my money back? 1.5 million? Yeah. Money. Where's my money, boss?
So we have watched the video about section 175 and 176, duty to reimburse the agent, duty of principal to reimburse the agent. So under section 175 and 176 of the Contract Acts, a principal has a duty to indemnify and reimburse the agent for any losses, expenses or liabilities incurred while carrying out the agency work. However, this protection only applies if the agent acted lawfully within the scope of authority given by the principal and the act of the agent happened in a good faith, or what we can say in legal term, bona fide. This means that when an agent spends his own money, enters into liability or suffers losses while honestly performing the principal's instruction, the principal must compensate him. The purpose of this duty is to ensure that an agent is not personally burdened or financially disadvantaged for doing work that benefits the principal. Therefore, as long as the agent acts bona fide, meaning honestly and properly, the law protects him by requiring the principal to reimburse or indemnify him. This duty encourages agents to carry out their responsibility confidently, knowing that they will not have to bear personal financial loss for lawful acts done on behalf of the principal. So to make it more clear, we see the case Soloway and another, and JP McLaughlin. This case is actually from Canada. In this case, the agents were involved in stockbrokerage dealings. They dealt with the client's share dishonestly by selling the shares without proper authority and using the transaction for their own benefit. Their conduct amounted to fraud against the principal. So the court held that an agent who acts fraudulently or dishonestly against the principal is not entitled to claim indemnity or reimbursement from the principal. In other words, an agent can only claim indemnity if he acts bona fide, meaning honestly, bona fide mean honest, with a good faith and within the scope of his authority. This case shows the limitation of section 175 and 176. The principal must indemnify the agent for expenses, losses and liabilities incurred while carrying out the agency, but only if the agent acted lawfully and in good faith, bona fide. If the agent acted dishonestly, committed fraud, or went beyond authority for personal gain, the principal does not have to indemnify him. Principal doesn't have responsible to indemnify him. To make it more clear, we give a scenario. So let's say an agent said, "Sir, I paid 3,000 for transport, customs, charges and delivery. Here are the receipts." The agent gave the principal a receipt. And principal said, "You acted within my instruction and in good faith, so I must reimburse you." So this is what we can say a general rule, a normal rule under section 175 and 176, that the principal has the responsibility to indemnify the agent for lawful expenses incurred while doing the principal's work. An agent who acts fraudulently or dishonestly against the principal loses the right to indemnity. because the law is fair and the law protects honest agents, not the honest one who act without permission of the principal. So we can say that the duty to indemnify protects an honest agent from personal financial loss, but the protection only applies with limitation when the agents act lawfully within authority and in a good faith, as shown in the case of Soloway and McLaughlin. An agent who acts fraudulently cannot rely on indemnity. So boss, what do I need? Cannot rely on indemnity. So boss, what do I need to do? Oh yeah, I need you to go and meet one of our clients at the construction site. So check out and check things out. They said they have some kind of problem. Yeah. Hey boss. Do I need to wear a safety helmet? No. It's holiday, Labor Day. I don't think there's going to be any work there. Yeah, boss. Okay, boss.
I'm not gonna carry this thing. Do you think throwing around here is okay? Nah, I think it's okay. It's holiday. How much gonna be here?
I am at construction site. So what I need? Ouch, my head. Oof, my head. Ouch. Boss. Hello. What the hell happened to you? I am injured. My head full of blood. Yeah, don't worry. I paid for your injury. Yeah, go ahead and continue your work. Oh. Don't worry, I compensate you. Go back to your office. Are you sure? Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. Okay. Oh.
Today, I will explain the principle under Section 178 of the Contract 1950, which provides that a principal must compensate an agent for injuries caused by the principal's neglect or want of skill while the agent is carrying out the principal's work. In simple terms, if the principal is careless, incompetent, or fails to provide a safe system of work, and the agent suffers injury, even a small damage because of that failure, the principal will be liable to pay compensation. Now, let's just look at the first illustration. In this case, Ali works as a shipping agent for Zara Trading Sdn Bhd, a company involved in exporting furniture overseas. Zara instructs Ali to supervise the loading of goods at Port Klang. However, the company negligently hires untrained workers to handle a heavy wooden crate. During the loading process, one of the improperly secured crate falls and injures Ali's leg. In this situation, Zara Trading Sdn Bhd is liable to compensate Ali under Section 178 because the injury resulted directly from the company's negligence in hiring unskilled workers. Next, we move to the second illustration where it involves one of skill by the principal. In this case, Rahim acts as a sales agent for Mega Agro Sdn Bhd, promoting chemical fertilizers to farmers, and the company manufactures a new fertilizer formula but fails to properly test its safety. While Rahim is demonstrating the product to potential customers, the chemical leaks and causes burns on his hands. Here, Mega Agro Sdn Bhd must compensate Rahim because the injury was caused by the principal's lack of skill and failure to ensure the product was safe for use. Now let us consider a situation where the principal is not liable. In this case, Lina is an agent for a logistic company. While inspecting a cargo, she slips and falls because she was not paying attention. The accident was not caused by any fault, negligence, or lack of skill on the part of the company. Therefore, the Section 178, the company is not responsible to compensate Lina because the injury resulted from her own negligence and not from the principal's conduct. The principal, under Section 178, also supported by landmark case of Wilson and Clyde Coal Company Limited and English 1937. So in this case, Mr. English is a miner working at the company's coal mine, was crushed by coal wagons after machinery restarted while he was leaving work. His family claimed that the company failed to provide a safe system of work, and the employer argued that the safety responsibilities had already been delegated to the mine manager. However, the House of Lords rejected this argument and held that an employer's duty to provide a safe working system is personal and cannot be delegated to someone else. Lord Wright explained that this duty includes three important responsibilities. Firstly, providing competent workers. Second, supplying adequate equipment and materials. And lastly, ensuring a proper system of work, together with the effective supervision. This case established that a principal or employer remains responsible for workplace safety even when tasks are delegated to others. In conclusion, Section 178 protects agents who suffer injuries due to the principal's negligence or incompetence. However, if the injury occurs because of the agent's own carelessness or due to an unforeseeable accident, the principal will not be liable.
Satisfies all of the requirements that I look for. Congratulations, and I would like to say you have been successfully appointed.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to working with you.
So happy.
제 손을 꼭 잡아줄게요. 그대는 선물입니다. 하늘이 내려준 홀로선 세상 속에 그댈 지켜줄게요. 어느 날 문득 소나기처럼 내린 그대지만 오늘도 내겐 소중한 사람.
Your principal appoint a new agent.
What is this? Huh? What is this? What do you mean? You have appointed me as an agent, then you appointed other.
No, agent. No, no, calm down, calm down. I can explain. What? I don't want you anymore.
You don't want me anymore? Is this lawful?
Lawful? Who cares? It's on me to pick who I want to be my agent. Lawful? Duh.
Now let's move on to the next important fiduciary duties of the principal. Now, the duty is not to willfully prevent or hinder the agent from getting or earning his own commission. Well, the statutory provision or foundation for this particular duty actually lies in the section 173 of the Contracts Act. Section 173 actually provides that an agent is entitled to remuneration or commission for the business done in the course of his particular agency unless he is guilty of misconduct. The flip side of this provision is that the principal must not act in bad faith to deprive the agent of that commission. In practice, this particular meanings is that once a principal appoints an agent or agents, he cannot secretly appoint another agent to actually complete the same transaction, nor can he complete the transaction himself while the agent is actively performing simply to avoid paying commission. Well, courts interpret this as part of the fiduciary duty of the principal, and it is the fairness that is supposed to be owed by the principal himself. Now, let's look at the illustrations that we have. First, Amina appoints Faizal to sell her bungalow with a 3% commission. Well then, she secretly appoints Lina and sells to her. Here, Faizal is still entitled to his commission because Amina is actually unfairly hindered him. Well, the second illustration that we can see is that Mr. Wong appoints Azman to sell his car with a 2,000 commission, and then Wong sells the car himself while Azman is still working for him. Now, this is actually a wrongful interference, and Azman remains entitled to his commission. And then another illustration that we can see is that Nadia appoints Hafiz to lease her shop lot within 2 months, and then Hafiz makes no progress. So Nadia decided to appoint another agent. Now, in this case, actually, Nadia is not liable because the termination was to be considered as a legitimate condition. Well, Hafiz had failed to perform his duty. Now, the principle is reinforced in Malaysia case law, which can be seen in Wong Mung Wai and Wong Tam Fat and another, which is the case in back to 1987. Now, in this particular case, the agent sold the principal's land below market value to his own wife. The court held that this was a breach of fiduciary duty and the agent lost his right to actually claim the commission. The case actually illustrates that commission belongs to the agent only if he acts honestly. If the agent is entitled, then the principal cannot deprive him or deprive any of his commission from being obtained. Now, to conclude, Section 173 of the Contract Act 1950 secures the agent's right to commission. The principal must not act in bad faith to deprive the agent of that commission if the agent performs honestly. Any attempt by the principal to actually interfere or replace him unfairly will not absorb the principle of liability. Thank you.
So before we end our presentation for today, I'm going to do a quick and simple recap of the duties of a principal towards an agent under the law of agency. So think of the relationship between a principal and agent like a teamwork partnership. For the partnership to work smoothly, both sides must play their roles properly. So you may be asking, what exactly are the principal's responsibilities here? So the first one, and definitely the most easy to be remembered, is the principal has the duty to pay commission or remuneration to the agent. In simple words, if the agent successfully does their job they were hired to do, the principal must pay them as promised, whether it is in a form of salary, commission, or maybe other form of payment that has been agreed in a contract. But there is an important exception under section 173. If the agent commits misconduct or acts dishonestly, they can lose their right to payment. So here it basically says that honesty matters a lot. Okay, an agent cannot expect any reward after betraying the trust of the principal. So next is the principal has the duty to indemnify and reimburse the agent under section 175 and 176. This means if the agent spends money, suffer losses, or even faces some legal liability while carrying out the lawful instruction in good faith, the principal must cover those losses. For example, if an agent is asked to buy some goods, maybe for the business, and uses their own money for maybe transportation or custom charges, the principal must reimburse them. It would be unfair for the agent to personally bear cost while working for the principal's benefit. But however, this protection only applies when the agent acts within the authority. If an agent goes beyond the instruction, for example, like they were told to buy 50 laptops, but instead maybe they bought 100 without any approval, the principal will not be responsible for the losses. In other words, agent must stay within the limits of their authority. And thirdly, under section 178 of the Act, the principal has the duty to compensate the agent for injuries caused by the principal negligence or lack of skill. Imagine a workplace where the principal ignores safety measures or maybe even provides unsafe equipment. So in this situation, if the agent gets injured because of that negligence, the principal will be liable and must compensate them. But if the injury happens because of the agent's own carelessness, then the principal will not be responsible. So here, responsibility also depends on who caused the problem. And lastly, the principal must not prevent the agent from earning commission. The principal cannot act in bad faith by interfering with the agent's opportunity to earn the payment. For example, if an agent has already worked hard to find a buyer, but the principal secretly bypassed the agent just to avoid paying the commission, the law may still allow the agent to claim it. And at the same time, if the agent fails to perform their duties properly or maybe makes zero to no effort to complete the task, the principal will not be liable. Here, the law protects fairness on both sides of the coin. So, in conclusion, the duties of a principal are about fairness, it's about trust, it's about responsibility in an agency relationship. The principal must treat the agent fairly, while the agent must act honestly, carefully, and within their scope of authority. So, when both parties has fulfilled their duties, the agency relationship can function smoothly and effectively.
I just had to let you know you're